Hello, and welcome back. I am Kirsten the Eccentric, and welcome back to my channel. If you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe um, so that I know that you're feeling the vibe of the channel and what we got going on. But let's get into it. Today's topic is self-love. Um, I felt compelled to make a video about self-love because this is something that I had struggled with, and I know for a fact that there are many other people like really trying to figure out how to genuinely love themselves, especially in the age of information where social media plays a huge role in almost everybody's lives, and there's a lot of things going on social media, people portraying, not even portraying, only focusing on the best things in life. And there are, some bad things going on as well, but that's not always the focus. So a lot of people get caught up in social image and stuff, and that even more amplifies the lack of self-love that was already there. Because let's be real, like, a lot of us didn't grow up practicing self-love on a daily, because we grew up, and some of us grew up in lower income communities, and our parents were sometimes didn't even know how to love themselves, so how could they even teach us how to love ourselves? And on the flip side of that, some people grew up in higher income communities in which your parents weren't even there a lot of the time to show you how to love yourself or teach you how to love yourself, because they were workaholics. And among other situations, like, there have been a lot of things that or a lot of situations that I've heard of, or when I was like, oh wow, that's just a lack of self-love. Upon my journey, I've come to easily recognize these things in people. I am the type of person that when I'm out, like, people just automatically come up to me and talk to me, And I think it because either I smile at them, like, people, sometimes when I'm out, a lot of people, like, stare at me and stuff, and I smile and wave and say, hey, and I think I just have that inviting presence where people feel like, they can come talk to me, or, things like that. And I don't complain, because I make sure that, I stay protected and I don't absorb, other people's energy. So I don't too much trip about that, and I actually open up and invite that, because I know that in that moment they might just need somebody to vent to, or stuff like that. But I digress. That's neither here nor there. But let's just say, I have had lots of conversations with a lot of people of various age ranges, and I've really come to realize that there are a lot of people in the world today that are lacking self-love. So I'm here to help. So let me see. These are some of the signs to let you know if you're lacking self-love. And there are many. I just wrote down about 5, which are 5 that I know I've dealt with, and other people may have too. The first one is you talk negatively about yourself. I used to say, oh, I can't wear that, or I ain't wearing that. Like this top I have on now, me, like 10 years ago, would have never put this on. Because I've always been a person growing up, as you can see. I have a nice size bust. Excuse me, let me put my phone on do not disturb. Um, but yeah, as I was saying, I have you know, a nice size bust. And growing up as a younger child, like that was something, especially like coming into teenage years when it's definitely started getting recognized. I've started growing breasts when I was like in the fourth grade, third or fourth grade, and I've always been like one of the girls with a larger breasts in all of my classes or whatever, and so it started really getting noticed in middle school, and people would talk about me sometimes on me. I even went through like a tomboy phase in middle school, when I was in the 8th grade, where I would wear oversized clothing because I, wanted to cover myself up and didn't want my body shape to be shown, and had I, that was how I went through that, in something that really affected like the way I felt about myself, in all honesty. And so that led to negative self-talk. I used to say like limit myself on the clothing I would wear. I didn't want to dress feminine, and I would be like, I can't never wear that. I would never wear certain things like low cut things or dresses, fitted dresses, and things like that. But you know that that's completely changed now. So that's one way. Talking negatively about yourself. Another sign of a lack of self-love is that you're a people pleaser. Now, I don't really no, yes, I was. The only people who I really worried about pleasing were like people who actually knew me, or the adults in my life had high expectations of me, like my mom and like my grandma, um my some ladies who inspire me in the church or whatever. And I would do things or carry myself in a way to please them, or wear certain things, because they would advise, oh, you should do this, you should do that, you should walk like this, you should talk like that. Let me tell you now, at this stage of my life, I am the most authentic that I have ever been. And it started like years ago, especially when I first cut off all my hair. That's when the empowerment started. When a woman cut her hair, her life changes forever. Like, so like I started to love myself with no hair. That changed me. But yeah, people pleasing is something that a lot of people do subconsciously. Yeah, like you put on something and you feel a type of way if somebody don't compliment you. That's how you know you're a people pleaser. Or you get your hair done a certain type of way, and if somebody don't say, oh, your hair is so cute, you feel a certain type of way. That's not, did you do that for yourself, or you did that to get noticed by other people? Make sure you're doing things for yourself and not focused on people pleasing. Another sign of a lack of self-love is you consistently comparing yourself to others. Now, this is the one that a lot of people have trouble with, especially like people who are on social media media consistently because you see people with the nice cars, you see people with the nice houses, you see them on trips, you see them with thriving businesses, you see them kiki happy up posted with their families, and you think to yourself, why not me? You know, why is this not me? One thing I'm gonna say, don't compare yourself, but be inspired. Like, learn how to catch yourself in a minute. Like, it is not healthy. If you compare yourself to people, that's a lack of self-love. But if you there's a thin line between comparison and inspiration. Comparison between and inspiration. You can easily transmute that comparison into inspiration. Like, stop yourself in that moment. And like, comparison is more of envious, more of jealousness. Like, you know, why they got that and I don't. Inspiration is more like, yeah, girl, I'm rooting for you. If you can do it, I know I can. If you can achieve that, I know I can. Like, you know, so that's the difference. If you're comparing yourself to others, you're lacking self-love. The fourth one is, and this is the one I had the most problem with. It's two parts of this. So let me tell you. You have problems asking for what you need, or you're being overly needy. The thing I used to struggle with the most was asking for help and asking for things that I need. And that's something I'm still working on too now, in all honesty, because I was very used to being like this overly independent person. I would receive help, you know, if it was offered, but I didn't like to ask people for anything. And I think part of that came from because, you know, I had always been an overachiever, especially in school. Like, I really excel academically, you know, as far as I wanted to. And I always had the mindset of, you know, I can figure out everything on my own, because I was like I still am a researcher. I research everything that interests me or things that I want to know about. I digress. Yeah, like, I was a researcher. I always went over and beyond and did a lot of things. And so when it came to me needing things, I was just like, you know, I figured it out. Or if you asked and told me no, I would never ask you again. Like, that's just, everybody who knows me know that, you know, this is the type of person that I had always been. But that is like definitely changed last year. Let me tell you, I really started intentionally changing that last year. 2021 was a very pivotal year for me. I learned a lot of things about myself. A lot. And I really owned most of my flaws. Like, I knew that there was a lot of things, but I owned my flaws. I owned them in 2020. I owned them. And took, you know, and I decided, like, I'm going to take control and change everything that I don't love about myself mentally. And most of my things were mental. Like, matter of fact, pretty much all, except, you know, me losing a couple pounds, which I'm definitely met that goal already. It's just about toning, but everything else was very mental. Like, so I'll make another video. That's a whole nother video in itself. But yeah, if you have problems asking for what you need, or being overly needy, like being to the point where you're clingy or asking too much or doing, just doing things just because you want someone's attention, that is definitely a sign of lack of self-love and self-esteem. And the last one I wrote down is the lack of boundaries. Now, the only area really I struggle with a lack of boundaries in my life was parenting. I would really focus on giving the world or doing my very best at being a better parent that I will forget about things I need. I will drive myself in the ground, overly work, just not rest, not get enough rest, just a lot of things because I do my best to make sure that I provide, a high vibrational lifestyle for my children. And I'm continuously evolving and continuously learning. But now I think I have a great balance when it comes to the boundaries, especially like that, because a lot of times they need me. Just like now when I was trying to record this video, my children, my girls, they were in here with me. And this is my third time recording this video because, they wanted to see and stuff, and I allowed them. I say, okay, let's see. No, baby. Remy kept whispering to me about stuff, and Mira knocked down the iPad, and, things like this. So I'm learning. I'm learning. Even when I carve a certain time out for my meditation and reading, and I just lock them out the room because I am a homeschooling mom, so they're with me 95% of the time. And, I have to carve that time out for me until I start. And I usually used to get up at 5:30. That's something I am working towards getting back to, waking up way before I get them up to have some time too. But I gotta really get better in my sleep pattern. I really gotta make sure I'm in the bed by 9:30 to do that, which has definitely been very hard for me to do lately, but I'm getting back to it. So yeah, that was just my take on the lack of boundaries. But yeah, if you have a lack of boundaries, I think parenting not that bad, because that's something you gotta balance. Our children do need us, but when it comes to other people, allowing people to walk all over you and them ask you just do anything that they ask of you, and you're not putting your foot down and say no to others, that's something that can really weigh on you heavily and cause you to, really not love yourself in the best way possible. Because I did experience doing that with other people years ago as well. I used to take hair appointments when I knew I was overly tired and just overwhelmed and worn out, and I would still say yes, I'll do your hair, or yes, your children can come over, I'll babysit for you. Yeah, I was that friend and that person that did hair. I still do hair, braid hair, and watch the children all the time. But yeah, that's that. But I've learned from those things, you know. So for me, I'm still working on the setting boundaries. Well, maintaining my boundaries. I say it when it comes to my children, and asking for what I need more, because I've learned to ask. I just think I should ask more. If that makes sense. But yeah, those some things that'll let you know if you have like a lack of self love. Well, just a few things, because there are way many more things. Like I was looking at different articles and they was like naming a whole bunch of stuff. But those are just like a few of the things that I know I've experienced. Um, and I read a quote, not even read a quote, I heard a quote. I listened to a lot of um, YouTube videos, or look at a lot of YouTube videos about different knowledge topics about, you know, history and self improvement, self awareness, different things, business, spirituality. And one of my favorite YouTubers is Ashira. And on one of her videos, she said a quote that that said, having self love is recognizing your own divinity so that you can recognize it in other people. And as soon as she said that, like, I ran the video back. I can't remember which one of her videos it was, but as soon as she said that, I rewinded the video back. I had to listen to that like 3 more times, and I'm like, wow, that's true, because I am experiencing that now. I have been experiencing it, but I just don't. Last year, I had consciously started to see or recognize the divinity in other people, and I'm like, wow, you get it now, because you finally know your true divinity. And that was something that really that helped me and definitely inspired me to make this video. And so what we're going to talk about now is ways to love yourself. And these are things that I have done, you know, and maybe you might want to do them too. I noticed that, you know, when I started, first, the most life-changing thing was self-love affirmations. And what I would do is every day, and I still do it now from time to time, especially on Sundays. So I do self-care Sunday. I get up, do my self-love affirmations, talk to myself in the mirror. I get up, you look at yourself in the mirror, and you say self-love affirmations. I love myself. I love you. You so beautiful. You can even talk like, you know, you talking to, looking at yourself, talking to yourself. I love you. You're very beautifully. You're the best in this world. Like, you do great things. I love everything about you. I love the texture of your hair. I love your skin complexion. I love the slenderness of your fingers. You know, every little thing. And sometimes, like, hug yourself. Give yourself a big great hug. Like, let me tell you, this is powerful. Hugging yourself is very powerful because you know that, like, hugging others is healing, an exchange of energy. But when you're saying them affirmations and you start to hug yourself, even if you ain't saying affirmations, but you embrace yourself, that's an even more powerful thing. That's like you coming into your own. It's so weird. I can't really describe it or put it into words, but just try and you will see like exactly what I'm talking about. Like if you're doing it, you can either look at yourself and be saying your affirmations or close your eyes and feel and imagine or visualize some things and you'll feel it. You will definitely feel that. So that's something you can do. Also, you can practice gratitude. Yes, this my life. I have my gratitude journal. It's over there on my desk. But this is something I do every day. Every day. Most of the time, I write it down. But even if I don't write it down, I make sure I say 10 to 20 things that I'm grateful for every day. And my children do it as well. They write down their gratitude list every day. And we read each other our gratitude. Like on most days, we read each other all the things that we're grateful for. You know, practicing gratitude will change your life. And it'll start to change your mind subconsciously. Because a lot of reasons why we don't love ourselves are some things that, have been planted in our minds over time subconsciously. And so that has an effect on our brain. And when you start to practice gratitude, you start to reverse those things. You start to imprint new things in your mind subconsciously, and that works wonders. Let me keep on going because I don't want to make this video too long. Another thing you can do to love yourself is get rid of things that no longer serve you. From time to time, like clean out, whether this be clothes, shoes, jewelry. I'm in the process of figuring out jewelry. Like I love costume jewelry, and I have a lot of costume jewelry, and I'm in the process now of decluttering and getting rid of some of that, which I already have. I did a big clear out in November and December, but I have some more things I'm getting rid of because I do know that I really realized I had way too many things, and that my whole my style was evolving, was always been bright, full of colors and prints and things. But yeah, that I have a lot of things I'm getting away and decluttering, but let go of things that no longer serve you, whether that be clothes, shoes, places, things, or people. Let it go. Another thing you can do to love yourself is cleanse and detox your body from time to time. Sometimes, we consume a lot of, things that are not best for our body. And, a cleanse and a detox is very great at aiding you in resetting your body, which resetting your mental, which helps you reset your body as well. Because your cells do hold memory, and which in turn is why we eat. the way that we eat, which leads to my next way to love yourself is, to upgrade and evolve your diet. If you're eating something that you know is unhealthy for you, or that every time you eat it, it gives you bloated or give you gas or something like that, work towards letting that go. Work towards releasing that thing. That ties into things that no longer serve you as well. But work towards releasing that thing, like, or upgrade. If it's like a certain food or a food group like dairy, let it go altogether. Work towards letting it go. That's one of the things I did. Well, I didn't even do this for self-love. I did it for health reasons. But when I did do this, I definitely started to love myself more because my body started to change. Was change my diet, let go of, meat and dairy. We'll transition into a plant-based diet. That changed my life, and I love it. And I'm even continuously evolving now, because like now I'm at the point where my body craves more raw foods. Like, I have a great balance now between raw and cooked foods, but I'm transitioning now into a mostly raw diet, which is amazing. And another thing you could do, which is the last thing I did, I think this is the last thing. Yeah, this the last thing I did was exercise. Yep, exercise. Exercise more. Um, I no, I got one more thing I say exercise. Yes. So I exercise like 4 to 5 times a week. I do, and it's not always like strenuous exercise. Sometimes I use weights, sometimes I don't. I don't have like a routine exercise. I do stretch a lot, do yoga, practice yoga, stretch a lot. I've been practicing yoga for years, since 2017, and I haven't really been on it like I would. I wanted to. If I was, I would have been way more flexible. But I am doing, like, getting way better. I've increased my headstands and things of that nature that are really focused on, like, this my circulation throughout the body, and just making sure my muscles are relaxing, right, and working on flexibility. But yeah, I do yoga, some exercises, and dancing. Dancing is my most favorite exercise. We turn the music up, crank on, miniature, not even just miniature, in the whole house, me, my husband, and all the children. We have dance parties all the time. Dance parties all the time. And dancing is a very fun way of exercise. So, you know, get up and exercise and move and love yourself. You know what I'm saying? And the last way I have is be kind to yourself and others. Treat yourself with love and respect all the time. If you find yourself talking negatively to yourself, or even thinking negative thoughts about yourself, catch it, transmute it. You can easily, when you catch it and change it into that moment, that's called change it in that moment. That's called transmuting. So it's like the negative thought didn't even happen as soon as you catch it and change it into a positive. And the more you do that, the more though that negative self-talk and those negative thoughts will go away. That's something that I did a lot, like part of with the affirmations. Like, that's something I would definitely do a lot about transmuting negative thoughts I would about myself and others. Like, I would catch myself judging somebody. I'm like, no, why are you even doing that? How does that? Oh, you maybe. Oh, that's where that come from. Is that something deeper you dealing with? Because everything that we think about others outside of ourselves is something that has a deeper meaning of something that is going on within us. So if you judge somebody about something, let's just say, why she got that on? Why are you wearing it? Like, for instance, if you have a problem with me wearing this shirt because I'm, showing a little cleavage, maybe you have some internal self-love issues because maybe you feel some way subconsciously about your breasts, or you were taught to limit yourself, that a woman should look a certain way. When who told you that? Why did they tell you that? Okay, think about those things. But yeah, I just wanted to get this piece out because we need this, and I wanted to share with you all, like, some of the things that I noticed and realized, and share the things that helped me or whatever, because I would love for everyone to heal and continue healing, but I know that there will always be balance in this universe. But this video is for those who are looking to love themselves more or whatever. And make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel and share with someone, especially if they can use some of the tips or information that I provided, or just to help to enlighten them, or just share it just because you love me and I love you. But yeah, that's all I got for now, and yeah, that's about it. And so thank you for watching, and I appreciate you. I'm still getting used to this recording videos and YouTube thing, but I'm getting the swing of it, and I love you all. And as always, let's heal together. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.